The waves crash endlessly, their rhythm unbroken, their presence eternal. Yet, in their ceaseless motion, they carry a silence that echoes the unspeakable grief of Alfred Tennyson. This is Break, 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 a poem born from the depths of loss, written at a time when Tennyson's world stood still, even as nature moved on. In 1833, Alfred Tennyson lost his dearest friend, Arthur Hallam, to a sudden brain hemorrhage. Arthur was not just a friend, but a muse, a confidant, and the embodiment of youthful hope. Hallam's death was a shattering blow, plunging Tennyson into a decade-long silence. Break, Break, Break was his first step toward healing, a cry to the universe, a release of unspoken sorrow. The sea in Break, Break, Break is more than a setting. It is a living entity. It breaks upon cold, gray stones, much like grief crashes upon the human heart. The waves are eternal, indifferent, a stark contrast to the fleeting nature of human life. As we dive into the poem, let us reflect on how the sea mirrors Tennyson's anguish and humanity's unending search for solace. Break, 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 on thy cold, gray stones, O sea. These opening lines set the tone of the poem, a plea, almost a prayer. The poet addresses the sea as if it were a confidant, its relentless motion mirroring his inner turmoil. Yet the stones remain cold, lifeless, much like the response of the universe to personal sorrow. Oh well for the fisherman's boy, that he shouts with his sister at play. Tennyson contrasts his grief with the carefree joys of life around him. The fisherman's boy and sailor lad symbolize the continuity of life, their laughter and songs reminding the poet of the simplicity he has lost forever. But oh, for the touch of a vanished hand and the sound of a voice that is still. These lines capture the raw, aching pain of loss. Tennyson longs for the physical presence of his friend, a touch, a voice, a moment that will never return. The vanished hand becomes a symbol of everything we hold dear, but can no longer reach. But the tender grace of a day that is dead will never come back to me. In the final stanza, Tennyson accepts the permanence of loss. The tender grace of past days is gone, carried away by time, just as the waves carry sand back into the sea. The poem ends not with closure, but with a poignant acknowledgement of grief's unending presence. At its core, Break, Break, Break is a meditation on grief, time, and the human condition. It speaks to the heart of anyone who has lost a loved one, reminding us that grief is both deeply personal and profoundly universal. The sea becomes a metaphor for life's constancy, while the vanished hand symbolizes the irreplaceable loss each of us carries. In today's world, where loss is often shared in digital spaces or processed through therapy, Tennyson's words remain a source of solace. They remind us that grief is not a weakness, but a testament to love. The sea, the stones, and the waves are eternal, just as the memory of those we cherish lives on in our hearts. Tennyson's Break, Break, Break transforms personal sorrow into timeless art. It is a cry of pain, a search for meaning, and a reflection on life's fragility. As we stand by the sea, let us remember that while the waves may break endlessly, love and memory endure beyond time.